Jota has been reported dead this morning after getting involved in a car crash. It's been said that the 28-year-old, alongside his brother Andrew Silva, died in the accident, which took place in the Spanish province of Zamora. His brother, as well, a professional footballer, playing in the Portuguese second-tier club Penafiel. Jota, don't forget, he just got married to his long-term partner Ruth Cardoso, whom together they have 3 children. They only just got married some days ago, let's say about 10 days ago. It's not even up to 10 days because that was June 22nd, if I'm not mistaken, with the pictures flying around on social media. And a lot of persons are congratulating them, wishing them the very best for the future. But of course, that was definitely going to be short-lived by the Liverpool forward right there. I mean, for me as a person, I feel like he died premature, of course, at the age of 28, but even at that, the world is yet to see exactly what he's capable of doing, because we've seen Diogo Jota when he was at Wolverhampton Wanderers, at Wolves in the English Premier League, before making that switch to Liverpool as well. And with Liverpool, of course, he won the Premier League title last season, also helping his country, Portugal, to also win the Nations League final last month, June as well. Such a tragic one right there, but of course, we wish the family the fortitude to bear the loss, especially the wife who now has to cater for 3 kids all by herself, and also the football world that is definitely thrown into mourning this Thursday. Sporting a Jiffy right here on iPad Radio 102.1 FM is breaking, but definitely not the best way to start the show. To the switch of the back of the net right now, we get the show on the road. Ayode Jajiboye is my name, an absolute honor to be your host on the show this morning. Here's a short reminder that we're streaming live on our YouTube channel at Impact 102.1 FM. Go subscribe to that channel so you can be the first to know whenever we go live. I will start with us coming through from the on front this morning, and this has to do with athletics, where Nigerian sprinter Favour Ofili and other athletes who have been involved in the maiden season of the Grand Slam track could be in for his unsavory experience, as the organizers are yet to hand out prize monies and appearance fees. Some of the world's early track and field athletes are still waiting to receive payments they have been promised, which runs into millions of pounds and range from prize monies to appearance fees for participating in the inaugural edition of the Grand Slam track. The situation has become so dire that some athletes have reached out to sport governing body, the World Athletics, directly to resolve the issue. And away from that story this morning, Nigeria is also hoping to feature in the relay event at the 2025 World Athletics Championship in Tokyo, and also received a timely boost following the announcement of the AFN Dynamic Athletes Meet scheduled for July 10 at the Yaba Tech Sports Complex right here in Lagos. The second edition of the Dynamics Meet, now officially partnered with the Athletic Federation of Nigeria, is in position as a critical qualification platform for Nigerian relay teams and athletes from other countries yet to secure the spot in Tokyo. Speaking to newsmen, organizer and founder of the event revealed that strategic measures are being implemented to ensure the meet meets global standard and helps Nigeria secure crucial qualifying times, particularly in the relays. Nigeria's men's and women's 4x100-meter teams currently sit just outside the qualification threshold for Tokyo, following recent performances by rival nations like the Netherlands and Ivory Coast. And with the qualification window closing on August 24 and limited meets remaining, the stakes at Yabatek could not be any higher at this point in time for Nigerian athletes. And away from that story this morning, still more thoughts coming through from the world of athletics on the show. After selecting more athletes during the two-day trial, the Athletic Federation of Nigeria has now reopened its camp for the Confederation of African Athletics Under-18 and Under-20 Championship, which will be hosted in Abeokuta, Ogun State from July 16 to July 20. The selected athletes resumed camping in Shagamu, Ogun State after the national trials ended at the Gateway Stadium on Tuesday. AFN had invited 90 junior athletes to camp in June before holding the trials, and the AFN is also expected to release the final list of athletes for the championship soon, as other countries that will be competing in Nigeria have done so. Despite the threats posed by rain, about 12 events were decided on the final day of the national trials, with Gafar Badmus winning the under-20 men's 400-meter title. Badmus, who had about 45.78 seconds, was fast and good enough to win the men's 400-meter junior title, while David Akalu came second in a new personal best of 46.34 seconds, and Ezekiel Eno went under 47 for the first time, running a personal best of 46.42 seconds to become third. Miracle Ezechukwu and Rosemary Nwako were dominant in the under-18 girls 200 meter. Ezechukwu won the race in a time of 24.06 seconds, while Nwako came second in 24.53 seconds, and Marian Jegede completed the top three in the time of 24.80 seconds. Away from athletic stories on the show this morning, straight into the world of football. Of course, big stories to come through in the world of football this morning, just as we have transfer beat, as we have it on the back pages of the major dailies. Of course, summer sweep is upon us already. I'll be talking about Nigerian players abroad who also be looking to switch sides. Plenty of talks about Victor Osimhen as well as Ademola Lookman, but one man who is now looking to get back into top form is Paul Onuachu, who has now cut ties with Southampton and is now back right there in the Turkish Super League with Trabzonspor. I'll tell you more about that in the course of the show this morning. But on football talks, the Nigerian Football Federation are yet to make their constitutional stance known over the 10 million fine dispute between the Lagos State Football Association and the general manager of Kwara United, Bashir Badawi, after last Saturday's President Federation's Cup final in Lagos. The Kwara United's general manager Badawi was said to have been fined 10 million by the Lagos State Football Association and ordered to issue an apology to the body and the Nigerian Football Federation over what they call a breach of security during the final at the Mobolaji Johnson Arena on Saturday. Badawi was said to have made wild attempt to run and jubilate in front of the seated 5 state governors at the VVIP section of the stadium. In a letter that was signed by the Lagos State Football Association Secretary, Mrs. Vera Saint Okechukwu, it demanded Badawi to pay a fine of 10 million naira and also issue a letter of apology to the Lagos State Football Association, and also copy the Nigerian Football Federation on or before Monday, July 15. Badawi has, however, hit back at the Lagos State Football Association, insisting that it wasn't within the right of the Lagos FA to charge him. Well, of course, we are waiting for the stance of the Nigerian Football Federation right now, because the NFF President Ibrahim Musa and the General Secretary Mohammed Sanusi, both officials did not respond. Called us at the time of filing this particular report on this incident. And away from that story right now, plenty of thoughts coming through from the WAFCON, the Women's African Cup of Nations. The trophy was unveiled yesterday. What a beauty. Magnificent. I mean, I've been saying women's trophy in time past. This particular one was definitely so much different. You can tell that it's a lot of what has been put in into this particular trophy, and I also wish that it's going to be the Super Falcons of Nigeria who will be laying their hands on this trophy. Not just that it's a new trophy, but of course to make a statement and also win the WAFCON for the 10th time running, because that's the mission this time around. Mission X is what the Super Falcons are up for, and we are hoping that they will be able to lay their hands on it. The games will be starting by this weekend. July 5 is when the WAFCON is going to be starting right there in Morocco, and we are looking forward to some amazing football and also some amazing matchups from all of the teams that will be participating in it in times to come. Quickly, let's take some news coming through from the Nigerian opponents. That's talking about Tunisia. Yesterday we talked about Algeria. Today we have to talk about Tunisia, where their striker Meriam Uji is not unaware of Nigeria's pedigree at the WAFCON, but says they remain optimistic that they can go all the way to reach the final of the 2024 tournament, which will begin in Morocco this weekend. And Nigeria will be seeking a 10th continental title in Morocco, having won 9 of the 12 championship that has been contested since the Confederation of African Football launched the event as a tournament in 1998 to become Africa's most decorated women's national team. For this year's edition, the Super Falcons are in Group B, where they will face against North African side Tunisia, Algeria, and Botswana. Nigeria and Tunisia will be facing up in the first group game in Casablanca on Sunday, July 6, and Uji is confident about the chances against Super Falcons as well as other teams that are in the same group with them. plenty of thoughts coming through from the camp of the Super Falcons ahead of the WAFCON, but definitely we're looking forward to analyze this game come Friday, because we're back here on the Sports Talk Show on Friday. I will have 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews, taking us back into the history of the Super Falcons at the WAFCON. Also, taking thoughts coming through from players of the Super Falcons of Nigeria. Christy Uchebe is also confident that the Super Falcons will reclaim the Women's African Cup of Nations from the older South Africa. Don't forget that the Super Falcons lost out to the Bayana in the semi-final of the WAFCON just the last time out, and this time around they will be looking to make amends and also lay their hands on the trophy. Of course, it's been said that the Super Falcons are the most successful, but the Super Falcons were left chasing shadows when South Africa claimed the trophy for the first time. That was in the year 2022. I can remember their coach Desiree Ellis also winning the women's Coach of the Year during the CAF Awards that particular time. Bayana also aiming to become the first team other than Nigeria to win the trophy back to back. And now, all being said, let's take all of the other talks down to the pitch of play. Away from that story right now, still taking more stories from the world of football. And on the home front this morning, the Nigerian Football Federation yesterday announced the extension of the tenures of the present board of the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL, the Nigerian National League NNL, and the Nigerian Nationwide League 1 NAO till the end of the tenure of the present NFF administration, which has been headed by Alhaji Ibrahim Oso, and that is going to be in the next 6 years. The tenure of the present NFF board will end on September 29, 2026, having taken office in September 2022. And by this decision, the board headed by Benga Elegbeleye, which is the NPFL, George Aluko, which is the NNL, and Silas Ali Agara, which is the NAO, will now continue in office until September 2026. In a statement that was put out yesterday, the NFF Executive Committee commended the body of work of each of the 3 boards in the past 2 years and charged them to commit even more effort to delivering better packaged and more attractive leagues that football managers and stakeholders in the country and the continent at large will be proud of, while resolving to progressively introspect and innovate for the good of the game. And quickly, before we move away from the home front this morning, plenty of talks on this show, so much to talk about, so much to look into. It's been said that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has now reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the development of sports, which is described as a unifying force, also adding that the country is not only poised to excel at the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Glasgow, but also preparing a formal bid to host the 2030 centenary edition of the Games. Speaking during a symbolic presentation of the King's Baton Relay ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Games, scheduled to hold between July 23 and August 2 in Glasgow, Scotland, the president, represented by the secretary to the government of the federation, George Akume, said that the present administration is committed to uniting Nigeria through sport. He urged Nigerian athletes to train hard and remain patriotic ambassadors of the country, saying that they carry the hope of over 250 million citizens, also reiterating the dedication to promoting peace and true sport. The arrival of the King's Baton from June 27 to July 2 is a testament to the commitment to the Commonwealth family and the ideals it also represents. Also speaking at the event, the National Sports Commission Chairman Shiodiko noted that Nigeria is preparing a formal bid to host the 2030 Commonwealth Games, marking the 100th anniversary of the event. In his word, he said Nigeria's hosting ambition is backed by years of planning and strategic investment in sporting facilities, partnerships, and athletic development. Away from that story, Flying Eagles head coach Aliyu Zuberi has defined his objectives as Nigeria's under-20 boys resumes campaign in Abuja ahead of the Wafubi under-20 boys tournament to be staged in Ghana. Two-time FIFA World Cup runners-up Nigeria will be among Africa's 4 representatives at the 24th FIFA Under-20 World Cup final scheduled for Chile from September 27 to October 19. Others include South Africa, Morocco, and Egypt. The WAFU B Under-20 tournament will be held in Ghana from July 10 to 23, with the Flying Eagles to play in Group A alongside host Ghana and Benin Republic. The first match is against Ghana on July 10 before they play the Benin Republic on July 13. Cote d'Ivoire, Burkina Faso, Niger Republic, and Togo make up the Group B of the tournament that is going to be staged right there in Ghana. Away from the home front this morning, so much to talk about, so much to look into on the show, Sports in a Jiffy, right here on iPad Radio 102.1 FM. We'll go straight into the world of tennis, so I get to tell you about everything happening at the Wimbledon, because of course, the third Grand Slam of the year. A couple of players are already missing out. Talk about getting knocked out. Let's talk about Cameron Norrie, who went through a gutsy performance yesterday to produce the best performance of his career as he fought back to beat Francis Tiafoe in a thrilling encounter to reach the third round of Wimbledon. The former British #1 who got to the semi-finals of the championship in 2022 won by 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 7-5 and will now face world number 73, Mattia Bellucci of Italy. A bit of disappointment for compatriot Katie Butzler as she was knocked out in the surprise 7-6, 2-6, 1-6 defeat by lucky loser Solana Serra from Argentina. British wildcard Billie Harris also lost 6-3, 6-4, 7-6 to world number 37 in the Borges, while the last home player in action yesterday, Otto Ferry, will return today after his match with Luciano Daderi was suspended due to fading light on court 2, with the Italian leading 4-6, 3-6. Sonekata had earlier become the first Briton to go through on day 3, comfortably seeing off Bulgaria's Victoria Tomova 6-2, 6-2. More talks coming through from the world of tennis this morning. Last year's runner-up Jiffy Paulini became the latest top 10 seed to make an early exit at Wimbledon, but world #1 Aryna Sabalenka put this year's record number of upset out of her mind in a hard-fought victory. Italian 4th seed Paulini's 4-6, 6-4, 6-4 second round defeat by Kamila Rakimova came after 8 top 10 seeds across the men's and women's singles. Draws went out across the opening days and the most at the Grand Slam in the Open era, but Sabalenka avoided the same fate with a gritty 7-6, 6-4 win over Czech world number 48. Maria Boskova. It means the only top 5 seeded remaining in the women's draw at the All England Club after day 3 of the championship is top seed Sabalenka. The Belarusian is aiming to add a maiden Wimbledon to her 3 Grand Slam triumph at the US Open and also the Australian Open. And away from the world of tennis this morning, quickly, okay, before I wrap up, let's quickly talk about the British #1, Emma Raducanu, who also produced one of her best displays in recent times to sweep aside 2023 champion Marketa Vondrousova and reach the Wimbledon third round, the first time she's reaching the third round of a major tournament since 2022. It's an outstanding performance marked by the authority and intensity. The 22-year-old won 6-3, 6-3 in just 82 minutes amid an electric atmosphere on the center court, a level for the former US Open champion will need to replicate, if not improve, when she meets world #1 Aryna Sabalenka next and seeks to equal her best run at the championship from 2021. So I definitely added 1 year to it. I was saying 2022. Okay, let's go straight into the world of football on the show this morning. Before we go into transfer bit, just as we have them on the back pages of major dailies, let's talk about the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. There's a bit of break right now with the teams looking to come back together and go straight into the quarterfinals of the Club World Cup. But it's not just the Club World Cup we talk about this morning. We'll talk about Chelsea, who a supercomputer is now tipped to be the winner of the Club World Cup. That supercomputer, it will get double mark because at the point in time, it rated Chelsea to be the 4th best team at the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup. But just yesterday, the supercomputer was being asked once again that who do you think is going to win the Club World Cup? And guess what? Without further ado, without thinking about it twice, picked Chelsea. As a Chelsea are the favorite to win the FIFA Club World Cup this time around. Let's go straight into the story and what actually bettered the supercomputer to pick Chelsea. But before that, let's talk about their new sign, Pedro, who signed from Brighton and Hove Albion, who is also talking tough about the reason why I had to sign for Chelsea. It was announced yesterday, and indeed that was worth about £60 million. Sources have also said that the 23-year-old signed an 8-year deal at Stamford Bridge, could make his Chelsea debut at the Club World Cup quarterfinal tie against Palmeiras on Friday. You know why I'm being skeptical about this game against Palmeiras is the fact that South American teams at the Club World Cup this time around are not here to play. They've been like the giant killers at the ongoing FIFA Club World Cup, making sure that they defeat all of the top dogs. As talking about Chelsea on the show this morning, another player for Chelsea, Levi Colwill, is also warning their signing. Says this club is for winners. If you don't have a winning mentality, please and please don't sign for Chelsea. And that's how we wrap up Sports in a Jiffy this morning right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. I tell you one thing for free, so much to talk about, so much to look into when it comes to the world of sports. But don't fret, we'll back here tomorrow morning 10 a.m. same time. Sports in a Jiffy, your early morning sports tonic. I call it that way because I know for sure that whether or not you're a sports person, an athlete, or someone just love the thrill of the game, this is the right place for you to be. I the Jajibo is signing out this morning. I say stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there, be the best version of yourself, and don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you once again. Do have a blessed and highly favored Thursday.
Take great pictures on Instagram. Tweet at us on Twitter. Let's see your dance on TikTok. Tag us at High Impact 1021 FM, your urban lifestyle station.
I know, and I love you too. This is why I've made it so that you can now have me everywhere you go. www.highimpactstudios.com. Press play. Links in our social media bio. Click at High Impact 1021 FM. Or you can just go the regular way. Turn on your radio and tune in to 102.1 FM.
We love you at High Impact Radio. Mwah!
See, there is no separating us now.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information, call 0706